Listeners, season 3, episode 9 is out now. We are with Bernadette Kelliher of Habitat Augusta, CSRA Habitat. It's Habitat for Humanity, as you know and love them. And we've got some big ambitions over here at Habitat for Humanity here in Augusta. And we're going to be talking about them today, as well as the big annual fundraiser, Build the Band. We're going to be talking about some cool things going on with that. The guests, it's going to be an episode you don't want to miss. Thanks for listening. And we are back, listeners. Episode 9, Season 3 of the Market Shakers podcast. And to help us shutter down this series, we have with us soon to be one of the newer big names, established names, but up and coming, I think, doing some exciting things here in Augusta. Habitat for Humanity here in the CSRA, their fearless leader and CEO, Bernadette Kelliher.
Well done.
That's right. Got it right. Talk a little about what we got going on. Some big events, some big projects, and just big moving and shaking here in the CSRA. Miss Burnett, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. You came on the podcast this time last year to talk about Build the Band.
Yes, Build the Band 2025. We're gearing up for Build the Band 2026 this year.
And Build the Band's kind of doing two different things this year. Or we have like a Build the Band that we know and love for year 3, and then we have a praise edition coming up that we're working on too.
We do. That should be in March of 2027. We're doing Build the Band praise edition. So all worship music, worship bands, church choirs. We are so excited about that.
That's gonna be awesome. That's a year away from now.
Yep.
So it'll be here before we know it, of course, like everything else is. But we have Build the Band 2026 coming up at the Miller Theater.
Yes.
Shout out, David.
June 27th, the Saturday after Father's Day, per usual.
Saturday after Father's Day, per usual. Shout out, David.
David Watts is my favorite. I'm telling you, he makes life worth living some days. He's amazing.
He is. And he is running a tight ship over there at the Miller.
He is running an amazing ship over there. I mean, you talk about what you think I've done for Habitat. Look what he's done for that Miller Theater. Look at the talent that he gets over there. I'm just awe-inspired by him. He's amazing.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a great year. And
we could do this whole podcast about David Watts. I'd be fine.
Featuring David Watts.
Featuring David Watts.
He's here in spirit.
That's right.
Well, almost. If he was here fully in spirit, we wouldn't get a word in.
That is absolutely correct. But it would be an exciting 30 minutes.
It'd be a good one.
Or whatever this podcast.
We've got future plans. We're going to be announcing a new series. It's going to be like a quick edit, quick 2-minute highlight. What are you most excited about? So David and I are going to be walking in front of the Miller. And we're going to actually incorporate this. So we're going to give the Build the Band a little shout out.
Oh, that's awesome. So much fun.
So you heard it here first. We've got Jackson Drum Goal coming up. So we're actually We're going to be transitioning the podcast from a 30-minute platform into like a quick 120-second TikTok reel thing where we give a representative from an organization 2 minutes to talk about what they've got going on.
Ooh, I'll have to figure out how to cut it down to 2 minutes.
So we will.
Glad I don't have to do that today.
Not today. No. But it's gonna be a quick, fun series we're gonna be launching.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
good job. Great idea.
But for those listening who have no clue what the heck we've been talking about for the last 2 minutes, what is Build the Band?
So Build the Band is our signature fundraiser. The praise edition isn't going to be a new addition to it, not replacing.
Okay.
But this year we'll be doing our third Build the Band. And what we do is we get local talent we name 4 leaders from that group. And around it, the amazing Tom Reed, who works with me over here at, yes, he's in studio today. Say hi, Tom, loudly.
Hey, guys.
Tom, then, who is an incredible musician in his own right around town, helps piece together the bands that go around these band leaders. So it's sort of designed to be individuals who have never played together, and they get about 4 to 5 months to rehearse and put together a set, and then they compete against each other, and we have judges, and the audience gets a vote, and the audience plays a really big piece in it, and we go to see how much we can raise to build homes in the CSRA. It is so much fun. It is one of my favorite evenings of the year, if I don't say so myself.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And it celebrates local, right?
It
It
does.
celebrates our local talent, our local musician, our arts. It's just amazing. It's so much fun.
Yeah, year 3, I mean, I'm expecting a pretty even bigger crowd. Last year, it felt like a sellout crowd
It
almost, yeah.
it was. We made a bunch of money last year. It was awesome.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
year 1's always like that first year to get it out, and it was pretty good attendance, and last year, like, "Whoa, this is big all of a sudden," so, fantastic, it was fun it was really fun to watch, and we knew it was coming, but it was fun to watch, like, the first year, and then
Yeah.
it's a big leap the second year took.
Yeah, it's like a rock concert. I
It
mean,
is.
it's like an amazing rock concert with 4 incredible bands, and then the winner of the previous year always comes back, so
Mhm.
Lightweight Lush,
Lightweight Lush.
starring, Luke Amerson, who is amazing,
Mhm.
will be playing, at the end there as a
Perfect.
celebration. Yeah, super
I
excited.
think last year I was really gunning for the Pink Pony Club group. Who did
JC Ward.
Yeah, JC,
Yeah,
yeah, I
well,
was
how can
like
you not root for JC Ward? She's one of
oh,
the
yeah.
nicest people in the CSRA. She's fantastic. Yeah,
And, yeah,
every band last year was
Lightweight
worthy of
Lush, he had his shirt off last year, I think, it was that guy. If I remember correctly, it was the guy with his shirt off, and he just ripped it
I don't
off.
know if I should say you say Luke did?
I think Luke took his shirt
Well,
off last
I
year
don't
and
know
did
if
a
I
whole
should
thing.
say if I remember or not, because if I don't remember, I'm in trouble. If I do remember, I might be in trouble. So I'm just gonna say, could have happened.
Yeah, I remember the
Might have
energy. I
happened.
remember I was like, "This guy's great." He was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And so, who are our competing groups this year?
I'm going to let Tom sneak in on camera and tell us who the band leaders are and walk through. I know, but it's Tom's baby.
What's going on, Augusta? We have Patrick Reagan, Ethan Baladucci, AE the Cool, and Mr. John Kelly.
Nice.
John
Not gonna
Kelly.
spoil their band names, but they're really awesome.
They're really great. Yeah. And
Th
so, and we're super excited about every single one of those bands coming. I mean, just they're going to rock the house out. It's going to
They
be
are.
amazing.
That's a stellar lineup.
And we have something we're not going to say what it is, but there's a very, very special tribute going to be happening this year. So
Oh.
we're very excited about that.
And and to find out, you're gonna have to go buy
You're
a
gonna have to
ticket.
go buy a ticket. And
Where
if
can we
you
buy
miss it,
tickets?
you're gonna be mad.
Where can I go buy a ticket at?
You can buy a ticket at the Miller Theater, or you can go to augustahabitat.org and you can find the link under our Build the Band website.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
Let's talk Habitat. What are we raising money for? Habitat's doing some big things this year.
We are. I think last time we spoke, I had been here about 2 years, right? So now I've been with Habitat for 3 years, and when I got here, we were building 1 home a year. Then we were moving into 2, 3, 4 a year, and the hurricane hit.
Mhm.
And so we paused all new construction and immediately as a group went into, not first responder mode. We supported all of the first responders in the area. I think the Community Foundation, the Red Cross, everybody who are first responders did an amazing job. So we got out of the way and just supported them. But now in the long-term recovery mode, Habitat has been wonderful, all of us and our affiliate and all of our partners in helping people do repairs to their home and get back into their houses. We've got some great grant funding from our local community foundation, State Farm, Home Depot. So we've got a lot of support in the community and we're continuing to get funds in and work in that. But it is time to get back to constructing new homes. And so while we were working on all of that, we've been, the board and myself and the team have been putting together a strategic plan for growth,
Mhm.
sustainable, responsible, and long-term growth. And so I'm happy to announce that we are, I know, we're making it public. We have an initiative ourselves called the Open Doors,
Okay.
and we are planning within the next 3 to 5 years to be at 50 homes a year. Yeah, per year.
50 homes per year.
Yeah.
That is a very large scale.
Go big or go home.
How many builders locally do 50 homes a year? Not many.
I can think of one that's gonna be doing it.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that is incredible, and that's gonna
Yeah.
be, look, I would love to see it happen.
Yeah.
I think everybody would love to see it happen 'cause, we have a couple, Habitat properties that are out there, the track rate, the build quality is really strong.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that we have a, or you have a, pretty much a partnership with M Home Builders. That's doing a lot of the work.
Yeah, so we did M Home Builders on our last 2 homes, and they are amazing,
Mhm.
and they're really setting the stage for what it's gonna look like for us as we're doing, mixed income
Mhm.
housing. So we're gonna be serving not just our population, but people slightly above.
Okay.
I think it's really difficult to buy a home right now.
Yes.
Um, so the average home buyer, I'm a little bit older than you, but when our parents were buying a home, the average first-time homeowner was in their early 20s,
Right.
early to mid-20s. The average homeowner now is in their 40s.
Yes, it is.
And so think of that impact, right? It drives more than an impact, just they didn't own a home till they're 40, right?
Mm.
It delays their ability to accumulate wealth and stability for themselves, which affects our market, which
Mhm.
affects our job security. When we don't create places where people can live and work, we're always going to get out voted or out. I'm trying to think of the right word, but like people are going to pick up and go somewhere that can accommodate that, right?
Right.
So if you think about it, uh, you call it affordable housing, but it's really attainable housing. We're not just talking about the poorest of our population. We're talking about first responders. We're talking about nurses and teachers and firemen and police officers, security officers. We're talking about the people who are living here and supporting this, or who are working here and supporting this community, not being able to live here. That's really impactful when you think about it.
Mhm.
So we got together as a board and an affiliate, and we were like, we've got to do more. How do we do more? How do we do better? And so we came up with a mixed income model that we haven't used here. Other habitats are doing it. I spent about 3 years going around and seeing what other habitats were doing, how they were doing it right, where they want to tell me where they had a few pitfalls in the beginning when they were building, so we can avoid those now. And we're ready to go. We're we're excited, and we should start building in the next month or so. I think we're going to be breaking ground on 2 properties.
Ooh,
Yep, and we've got lots more to go. So we're excited.
that's awesome. That's excellent. So we're well on our way.
Yeah,
So this is a new. Let's talk about the habitat model, and it's a couple things. I had some questions pop up.
sure.
Um, my understanding is if I want to get into a habitat home, I reach out to Habitat, I fill out information, I go through a program if accepted,
Mhm.
and the traditional model, sweat equity, and then once I've gone through these steps,
Yeah,
then I'm granted a home, or I am able to
qualify.
purchase it. I qualify.
Yeah,
I can purchase it. Habitat
yeah,
does an in-house mortgage, and then
yeah,
all those things, right?
yeah.
So, but I do know that that model has changed.
That model has changed, sorta.
Sort of.
Yeah,
So let's do this. Pretend I am a non-homeowner. I'm renting or I'm on Section 8,
yeah,
and I would love to be a homeowner and I would love Habitat to help me.
sure.
So what do I do first?
Sure. So let's just pull the Section 8 part out because that doesn't necessarily, that's a sidebar if somebody who qualifies happens to have Section 8. We don't
Okay,
hunt for Section 8, and not everybody on Section 8 qualifies.
great to know.
You have to have a job, you have to be able to pay a mortgage,
Mhm.
right? So, like, you might not make enough to qualify for our house, but you're on Section 8. We don't just take you because you have a Section 8 voucher, right? You have to have a job and be able to pay the
Right.
same mortgage as would somebody who doesn't have Section 8.
Okay.
That's a bonus on the side.
Okay.
So applications are open right now. I don't know when this is going to air, but they close on April 27th.
Okay.
And people will apply through that. We go through a rigorous system of seeing if they qualify.
Mhm.
Um, just like you would qualify for a mortgage with any bank, you would need to pre-qualify with a mortgage with us as
Okay.
you're going through this process to make sure that you can pay a mortgage.
This episode will sorry to interrupt. This episode will probably air after the 27th.
Got it. So they'll
So
have to wait till we open it again.
open it again. And
Yeah.
is
But
there a
that doesn't mean
schedule?
they can't take any of our classes and start volunteering with us, which might being the key word,
Okay.
qualify them if they're accepted later.
Okay.
Looking at that right now.
Is there kind of a when might these applications may open back up?
It just depends on what it looks like. How many homes are we going to be building and how many people qualify through this current
Okay.
open process now?
Okay.
So they go through that, they qualify or pre qualify for a mortgage. They go through, they look like they're going to be a good fit with us. They're willing to do the sweat equity hours, they're willing to go to the classes, they have a job showing some stability. They are then accepted into the program, and then they would have to meet all of the requirements of the program, the number of sweat equities required, the number of classes that they need to attend, making sure they're working on their budget and that they've been responsible, fiscally responsible, going to the financial classes, right? And going to the financial literacy, the digital literacy, and all of the other classes that they're required to go to. Our goal is to upskill them, right? Um, and then at a certain point in that process, when they've reached a certain number of hours, they are referred to a bank.
Mm-hmm.
Not a we give them a list of 3 of our partnering banks, and they go to one of those banks, or 2 or 3 if that's what they choose to do, and they apply for a mortgage. Once they receive their mortgage, unlike the way we used to it, which is we chose the property and we chose the design, in most cases, they will be choosing where they want their house built based on the lots we own and which of the houses they qualify for. So they're going to be more involved in the process, which is really exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah. It's just we want people to not feel like um, because they're going through a program where they're obtaining some assistance that they are locked into. That we want them to feel some ownership in their home ownership, just like you and I do. We choose kind
Process.
of where we want to live and if whether or not we like the way this house looks. So let's just make sure people have many choices as we can give them.
Mhm.
So once they qualify for that, we start building it. We get to the end, and Matt's yawning if y'all don't know it, which makes me yawn. So
Let me know.
we then we get to the end, and they actually go and get their mortgage. And how that would work is similar to the way we used to do it. There's an amount that they can afford. Let's say we'll keep it simple. It's a $200,000 house. They can afford a mortgage of 150. They take the mortgage for the 150. Habitat takes a silent second for the remaining $50,000. They pay off their first mortgage. We forgive the second mortgage. So it's all kind of the same, except we are not carrying the mortgage. It's the same cost to the homeowner as if we did carry the mortgage. It's the
Okay.
exact same numbers that it would be for them to pay out of pocket, whether they're paying interest or no interest. It's going to be the exact same fee to them. We're absorbing more on the back end than we previously did
Okay.
so that we can do this so that whatever he's yawning again, y'all.
I am. I don't know why I'm yawning.
So I
I
tried to
really
be
don't.
exciting. I don't know what happened. But what that does is allow us to free up instead of getting a small mortgage every month, we'll get a bulk that we can then sink back into building more homes. And that's one of the things that's going to be helping us expand. Now, quickly, the reason we're moving to mixed income is that right now it's really difficult to service the 30 to 50% in home ownership because of the cost of construction.
Right.
A lot of people are straying away from being able to serve that group because you just can't. You want to, you just can't. But if we implement
Cost,
fixed
the
income,
final
the
product is
costs are
too high.
just so high right now.
Right. So, like, for those listening, just like you just simply cannot build a home suitable for a family of 4 at $150,000.
It's not ever going
You
to
can't do it.
just
Can't do it.
can't happen. So the mixed income model, the concept is that we will take the people who are in the mixed income who can afford a full mortgage and use that to offset so that we can still continue to serve the 30 to 50%.
Okay.
So it's our way of trying to make sure. Now, the majority of our homeowners are going to be in our HUD income limits, right? The 80% and below of the HUD income limits. But we're going to make room for 81 to 120 so that we can take the overage, technically overage, and use that to offset the 30 to 50%. I'm really excited about it. I think it keeps us really mission focused.
Okay.
Um, and again, I don't think it's affordable housing anymore. I think it's attainable housing. And I think it's affecting the people in the 81 to 120.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I mean, you know
What do
better
you mean
than
by
I do.
81 to 120?
So HUD has an income limit every year. It changes every year. I think in May, the 2026 numbers will come out.
Right.
And they say this is 80% of the HUD income limits. Dude, you're killing me.
I know. I don't know what it is. I think my coffee ran out
80%
today.
of the HUD income limits. We would then be able to service 81 to 120% of the HUD income limits.
Okay.
But not so many that we're making a pile of money, enough to offset serving the 30 to 50%. So let's say I'm building 10 homes.
Okay.
Maybe 7 of those homes are going to be people between the 30 and 80% of the HUD income limits. And 3 of those homes are going to be, right, the 81 to the 120 offsetting the costs for the 30 to 50%. Does that make sense?
It does. What dictates which home will be provided to, those 30 to 80 versus 80, 120. Like,
So it's just a numbers game of how much do we think we can sell each home for and put back in our pockets. So what's that number I need to meet on the bottom?
mhm,
So obviously the majority of the project will always be the 30 to 80%. But if I need to sell 3 homes above to service the 3 who are the 30 to 50%, like maybe I'm doing 3 homes to the 30 to 50% homes,
okay,
and then 51 to 80 is 4 homes, and then 3 homes at the 81 to 120 to offset the 30 to 50.
okay.
Does it make
It
sense?
does, it
Yeah.
does. And in these things, yeah, I've toured a couple of these. I saw that y'all were working with some of the elementary kids or middle school kids. No, it was the State Farm.
State Farm Long-Term Recovery Grant. Yeah, we had 20 youth there helping us get the homes ready for people to move into them.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah, I saw
super
that.
excited. Yard work, cleaning.
The houses are nice,
They're
nice
beautiful.
luxury plank floors, granite countertops.
Yeah.
Do we are so is every tell me about the construction materials for every habitat home. Are we going into full granite, luxury plank, nice trim
A lot
packages
of it
or
comes down to the way Habitat is. We get a lot of gift in kind.
Mhm,
So sometimes one house looks more luxurious than another because a donor came to the table and said, like, hey, I've got these incredible granite
mhm.
Italian countertops
Italian stone.
that I didn't use, and what I've got, I'd love to donate it to you. I mean, it happens all the time, or we
Mhm,
get some crazy, amazing flooring, or you know, Moen, whatever sinks and like
mhm.
vanities, and let me. When someone donates to us, it's whichever house we're building at that time becomes the benefactor of that. So it's not
Right.
otherwise we purchase what we normally purchase.
Let's talk about this. So I'm just getting hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Your habitat, there's a lot of, and this is the thing I super just after seeing the products that you're building.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are just kind of go, oh, I don't want habitat home in my backyard,
Yeah.
right?
NIMBYs, we call 'em, not in my
NIMBYs,
backyard, yeah,
NIMBYs, yes. And so there's a lot of that,
right.
and I look, I understand the
Sure,
change for the sake of
sure.
change. A common or maybe a concern I could see being raised for a habitat home is you have somebody who, because once they purchase it, they get a deed.
Mhm.
And once you have a deed, especially a warrantable deed, you can kind of do whatever you want with the house. It's their home,
Mm,
right? So let's say I'm a habitat homeowner
mm,
and all of a sudden I walk into this home and I get a great deal on it, right? I get a great deal and it's got some really nice improvements.
mhm,
And maybe I think, yeah, I bought it for, 200, just for using number 6, 200, but I think maybe it has a market value of like 260.
yeah,
Why can't, what is,
yeah.
maybe I just sell it and just take the cash back out and I just sell it to whoever, right?
You can't do that.
Can't do that. And is that
Yeah.
because we have that silent second mortgage
So there's a
or
lot of
second
reasons you can't
position?
do that.
Okay.
So
So how does that
it
work?
doesn't matter if I'm carrying the mortgage or Bank A is carrying the mortgage.
Mm,
Habitat contracts always have Habitat with first right to refusal to repurchase the home back, which we will.
mhm,
But they cannot sell the home while they have any mortgage on it. We get to go back and take it from them because remember, we're carrying a silent second.
mhm,
You can't just go and sell it and take all of that cash and pay us out, and then you walk away with the equity.
mhm.
Your equity in that home is the equity that you've paid just like anybody else,
Right.
right? It can appraise in value, but you're not going to get the benefit of that right out of the gate.
Right.
If you go to sell your home, we get first rights to
Right.
buy
To
it
it.
back,
Buy it
right?
back. Okay.
And then our silent second is a part of that, right? So
Right.
we're purchasing back our own silent second. And I will tell you, I haven't run into one yet where they want to sell their home.
Mhm.
I mean, this is different. And I also
Yeah, it
want to
wouldn't
get to
make
the point.
sense. We're going
I,
hypothetical,
yeah, right. No, but I mean, that's why you're
A
very
lot of
careful.
arguments against are hypothetical.
Right. Well, and I
Don't
think
make
most
sense.
people, you don't want to pay back that money, right? You don't want to pay back the down payment assistance. You don't want to pay back the out of your proceeds.
Right.
Right. You want to keep the house
Mhm.
because you're not going to be able to go anywhere because you don't have any equity in the house yet, right?
Right.
Just like you would if you bought a house and you couldn't turn around and just sell it right away either. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe 5 years down the road if it went up, but we haven't run anybody who wants to do that. But let's get back to something you said when you asked me the question. You said, not in my backyard. I think what we need to remember, okay, and I think the myth that needs to be dispelled is that habitat homes are just the poorest of the poor of the poor.
Mhm.
Your children who graduate from college and have solid jobs don't qualify to buy a house right now. Your kids in their 20s don't qualify to buy a house. Kids in their early 30s, I call them kids because I'm old and I can, they don't qualify. They cannot save up enough money to put a down payment. And if they are buying a house, their parents, this is more than you know, are taking seconds on their house to give their kids the money to put the down payment on their house.
Hmm.
So we talk about it, but one of the reasons we're building in all different areas of Augusta now, we're in places you didn't know we were going, right? Is because it's not affordable because we're selling to people who are the lowest income of the lowest income. I want to make sure that the guy that went to UGA and finished and is now a dental student somewhere and he doesn't want to rent because he believes fiscally he should be investing in something has that opportunity to do that.
Hmm.
So it is not just what people think habitat is. And I think that's really the myth that needs to be dispelled,
Well,
right?
we're getting into a crisis, and you're helping solve that crisis. I mean,
Correct.
the fact that you know we're going into nationally, I think the median home buyer is like 38 years old, and it went from like, yeah, it was like 28
Yeah.
before COVID.
Yeah.
So we've jumped
Quite a
big
bit.
time, and if you look at demographics, I mean that is like dead square into
Yeah. Yeah.
the millennial
Yeah.
age group
Yeah.
generation, and we are shifting. If you look at the population, I forgot how why it's alarming, but we're shifting into where like they are becoming considered like the elderly
Mhm.
in a way. Like we're getting the next 10 years. Um, and when you get to that stage in life, it's like there's a lot of risks of buying a home. So you're getting is this where like you're finally in a position to buy your first home
Yeah.
at the age of 40.
Yep.
And then, but now you're going, well, shoot, a 30-year mortgage, I will be 70 when I pay it off.
Yeah.
I may not realistically make it to 70,
Yep.
because the national, yeah, your life expectancy in the United States is what, 72,
Yep.
76?
You're depressing me, Matt.
I mean, it's just, it's
Just
just,
kidding.
it's just a thing we're looking at,
Well, I
right?
think the other thing you need to think about, though, is think about the number of people who took out reverse mortgages so they could grow old in their
Mm-hmm.
homes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have the equity in it yet, so the entire stability of I think of our community is being threatened with this crisis on us, and I think that I'm very proud of my board. I'm very proud of my team. I'm very proud of the people that I have spoken with who are a part of what we're doing, our advisory committees and our who are jumping on board with us to say this is not just a low income problem. This is people who are, going to college and getting out and have good jobs. Your rent will cost you more than my mortgage cost me.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy when you
Yes.
think about it. You have most households, I don't know what the number is, but I'm going to look it up later, are one accident away from being homeless. Like one car accident, medical crisis away from being homeless.
Right.
That is insanity when you think about it,
Mhm.
and I don't think I alone or this affiliate alone or my team alone or my board alone, I don't think we can solve the problem, but I think we can be talking about it. I think we can be doing what we can to make some kind of an impact here in the CSRA. And hopefully all the other habitats around me are doing the same thing, which when we have our big collective meetings, this is what we're all talking about is, you know, this is my children who are in college now, what their lives are going to be like and their children's children.
Mhm.
We are the first generation that is not surpassing our parents. It's constantly been each generation does better than the parents before. We're the first generation, and you can blame it on whatever you want. There's 80 million different factors that play into why it is the way it is the cost of college, the economy, the whatever, COVID, pick.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but it it's frightening on some level, and I think, I say all the time to the team, "Heads down, do our job." Like, don't get distracted by the noise around us. Head down, do the job. Um, and if we're doing our job right and we're giving back to this community that every single person who works with me loves and adores Augusta,
Mhm.
Columbia County, Richmond County, Burke County. I mean, we are we're here to do the best we can, and I see the community getting behind us, and that's super exciting. Not just us, the Community Foundation, the Home Builders Association, the Golden Harvest, United Way. You're just seeing a shift in Augusta right now, and it's just so much fun to watch.
It is.
Um, I'm really excited to see where we're all going. I don't think Hurricane Helene created the bonds. I think Hurricane Helene showed the bonds that everybody had. I think it was already happening. It's pretty impressive.
The bonds as in like people that how we
But
came together.
yeah, how we all work together and the de-siloing. And I think I've been talking about that since you and I met years ago. I mean, I'm so excited to see the de-siloing occurring between the nonprofits and the community itself. Even the businesses engaging with the nonprofits in the way they have. There's just such an uptick in that as well. And it's just so much fun to watch.
Let's talk. Well, you kind of answered there a little bit. What you're. We talk about how the different partnerships work.
Mm.
And there are some other couple entities like in our area that do some good things. So you have y'all, and then you have like Turn Back the Block, for
I
instance.
love Ashley and Turn
Right.
Back the Block. They're wonderful people.
Right. So let's talk about that's like a pretty hand in hand, like kind of doing the same thing, same mission.
Yeah.
They're a little more. They're very specific on where they operate.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Like how do you guys work with Turn Back the Block?
So we don't have any direct partnerships on homes at the moment, but Ashley and I adore each other, and so we're always looking for ways that we can kind of partner. We're going to be starting a youth board, and Ashley has one, so she's been great about like, oh, what information do you want? I can help you figure out how to get it started and how to get it up and rolling. So there's no competition
Mhm.
between us. There's more of a collaborative spirit.
Good. Okay.
She's fantastic.
Okay.
She's just great.
Excellent. Um, I want to go back and harp on the real quick, just make a quick point. The whole crisis we have, and if you look at it, I think people have to be really careful about how we talk about crises. Um, it's not like, because when you talk about crisis, like you think like bubble, 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 lead up to a point, big boom. And the last big boom in anything with housing we had in big memory resulted in, 20%, 30% drops in
Yeah.
value of property,
Yeah.
within over a year or two stretch. And that's, that is not what's happening here. It's not what's happening. The crisis we have here is that our production costs have far outscaled income and affordability along with everything else. There's a lot of things going on. Um, we actually look at what's funny is we look at like what families are paying, what percentage of their income is going towards their mortgage.
Mm.
Um, Really interesting tidbit is, we're about like 28%, 30% of a family's income goes towards their mortgage. The worst housing affordability we've actually seen was in the 80s. So for a 2-year stretch in like 80, 81, I don't like to talk about the mortgage rates specifically because I think that's a red herring, but you were seeing 38 to 41%
Yeah.
of a family's income was going towards their mortgage for that 2 years. That was the highest it ever was. Um, and we want to look at that because, once again, it's not that families can't afford homes, it's that there is a cost of everything else around them has gone up.
Yeah.
So we have a bigger cost of living thing. But because of the production costs, like you said earlier, servicing that 30 to 80%, and then also having to look at that 80 to 120%
Yeah.
of those families, those HUD income type families, and is, you know, um, builders can just not put out enough supply. We still have 30% less homes on market today than we did in 2019.
Yeah.
30% less inventory.
Yeah.
We have not caught up. We're talking about in our local market, we're talking about there's all these headlines, builders, all these homes on market, builders have to make all these concessions. And yes, it's a lot different than it was 3 years ago, but we're still not even close to like what I would consider like a true balanced market.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it play out by that median homeowner shifting. And I have a point to this. But that first time home buyer shifting higher and higher, higher. So I want to commend you because if you're able to actually bring 50 homes to market every year,
Mhm.
that's going to be at what you said, at about a 70-30 split between, HUD income requirement homes, and then like 30% is over.
Right.
So you're looking at roughly 15 young professionals who are getting access to a home, and you about 35 families that fall with the HUD boundaries. You are really putting a dent into our uh, local area for lowering that first time median home
Yeah.
buyer age.
Yeah, and just so you know, the 60 to 80%, those are your nurses and first responders, and
Hmm.
right. So I mean, so those are career-centered individuals as well. I mean, the HUD income limits will get released in 2026, but they tend to go up. So
Hmm.
more and more of those individuals, like I said, the ones who, I would love to come up with a collaboration with Richmond County school system. There are a lot of teachers who don't take the jobs because they can't afford to live here.
Hmm.
And so they're losing talent because we can't provide housing for the talent that we want to recruit here.
Right.
So I would love to come up with partnerships with some of these places to say like, hey, let's go collaborate and I'll save a certain number of these homes for your teachers or police officers. Or I mean, wouldn't it be great to say like, hey, I'm going to develop this neighborhood and it's going to have 2 teachers, 1 police officer, 3 nurses, 2, you know what I mean? And then and fill it in and then infill with the rest of
Hmm.
the population. I mean, it's, you know, um, there are a couple of slogans this year. I'll come to the quote later, but one of my slogans I keep saying to the team is, "We may be um, providing neighbors, right? But we're really building neighborhoods. What we're really looking to do is to create those old neighborhoods." I don't know what it was like when you were growing up. You're a little bit younger than me. Um, but we all went outside all the time, and there was lots of green space and parks and things to do and places to go. And right, we are trying to initiate in our design any anywhere where we do over 6 houses. Where's the green space going to go? Right. So we want to create areas where people are coming out and they want to be a part of the neighborhood and they want to invest in their neighborhood and they want to right. They want to be a part of where they're living, not just a place to sleep and eat and park their car. And just more and more, it's starting to feel like, with DoorDash and Uber Eats and whatever, people aren't leaving as much as they used to. So I think we just want to, you know, look at what we're doing, right? Not just providing that housing, but what type of housing are we providing? Are we providing a neighborhood? I mean, there's going to always be those one-off, or as we call them, infill houses.
Hmm.
There was a space, we found it, we built there. But on the whole, there's still plenty of opportunity, and I think people are doing a great job. I think that Wayne Millar, that Kings Mill, that's fantastic. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I were renting, I'm calling up Wayne. You got a room anywhere? Like, I mean, I think some of the stuff that's being done around town is just amazing.
Hmm.
And that's why I say you can feel it, right? And the Millars are incredibly philanthropic people, as are a lot of builders in the area. You're just seeing a turnaround where um, it felt for a long time like it was all about me, right? I'm focused on me. And now people are going like, well, where's the give back? Where am I giving back to my community? How am I giving back to my community? Um, Commissioner Pulliam, really, Stacy Pulliam, District 2, really pushing for the GIC, Georgia Initiative for Community Housing, to come here to Augusta. We just finished our Masters Week where all eyes are on Augusta. And the reverberating phrase that I keep hearing is, I had no idea Augusta had all of this. The patch being redone and opened at the same time. I know golf is a big focus here, but I think people are starting to understand there's so much more to Augusta than Augusta National, which is an amazing addition to Augusta. I take nothing away from them, but that's for the rest of the world is 2 weeks a year. We need the rest of the world to recognize what Augusta is and who she is and what she brings to the table, which is so much more. The new uh, Civic Center, Convention Center, right? The James Brown Arena, right? The new arena and the downtown revitalization that's occurring right now. And it's just incredible.
It's a lot going on.
There's
To be
so
proud about,
much
man.
going on and it's just so much fun to watch.
I love it.
Yeah. I hope our name starts coming up in that mix pretty soon.
I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. And you've kind of already answered our question, what you're most excited for these upcoming these 12 months. But I'm going to ask you one more
Yeah.
time. What are you most excited about? The one thing you're most excited about for the next 12 months?
Huh. Next 12 months. I'm excited that we're launching our sustainable and scalable program.
Okay.
Um, Habitat isn't just about building homes; it's a thing we do as part of our program. Um, we've 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 changed it all, And so now we're following our families through at least their first year of home ownership, and hopefully 2 to 3 years out, just to make sure all is well, and inviting them to come back and be mentors, which they're doing now. And it's just that's all super exciting. But the quote I wanted to tell you, which is what I'm most excited about, because I feel like everybody's starting to see it. My team sees it, the board sees it, the people I talk to are all in alignment with it. There's an old Greek saying by Anonymous. He wrote a lot of quotes that says, "Great societies are built when old men plant trees under whose shade they know they'll never sit."
Mhm.
I love that expression. I just think that's what it is. Like, nobody's ever going to remember my name 20 years from now, right? But they might. Nah, it's okay. Maybe my kids will. And I'm fine with that, right? I'm okay with that. I understand that that's the way the world works, right? You come, you do, you give. Your memory is in your children. If you are an amazing James Brown or someone of that ilk, maybe people will remember your name. Hopefully people will remember your name. But what you're leaving is a whole new neighborhood that gets to grow and thrive. And that's enough. And I think people are starting to understand that. It's not about what you're getting, it's about what you're giving.
Yeah.
And that's just so much fun to watch.
I love it. Thank you for spending your time with us today. I appreciate the heck out of it.
Well, thanks. I
you.
appreciate you inviting us.
If I was curious about knowing more about Habitat and what's some good contact information, who do I reach out to?
Well, you're on the board. They can just come to you directly, right?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
AugustaHabitat.org has all the information and how to reach the team directly. We would love to hear from people and answer their questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.